Rules of the consciousness and subconscious. Rule 1. Every thought or idea triggers a physical reaction. A person's thoughts can affect all the functions of their body. Worry causes changes in the stomach and can lead to ulcers. Anger affects the adrenal glands and increases the level of adrenaline or cortisol, causing numerous changes in the body. Distress and fear alter the pulse rate. Ideas with strong emotional content can always reach the unconscious mind, because that is the realm of feelings. Once these ideas are adopted, they continue to trigger the same reactions again and again. To eliminate or change a negative bodily reaction, it is necessary to reach the unconscious mind and change the idea responsible for that reaction. This can be relatively easily achieved through hypnosis. Rule 2. What you expect tends to happen. The brain and nervous system react exclusively to mental images. It does not matter whether these images come from within ourselves or from outside. A mental image becomes a pattern, and the unconscious mind uses everything it can to maintain that plan. Worry is actually a form of creating a picture of what we do not want, but the unconscious mind works so that everything aligns with that imagined situation. We often hear, "What I feared the most happened to me." Many people suffer from chronic anxiety manifested as constant anticipation of something bad. These expectations form in the unconscious mind. But around us, there are also people who seem to be born under a lucky star, always happy and successful. What we call luck is actually positive mental expectations and a strong belief that they deserve success. We become what we think about. Our mental health directly depends on our expectations. Doctors notice that if a patient expects to remain sick, helpless, or even to die, those expectations often become reality. In such cases, hypnosis can be a tool to free a person from pessimism and a negative attitude, and to create positive expectations of health, strength, and well-being. Expectations that can become reality. Rule 3. Imagination is stronger than knowledge when addressing your own mind or the minds of others. This rule is extremely important in the practice of hypnosis. Imagination easily overpowers logic. That is why people often make irrational decisions. This includes, for example, crimes driven by envy, because such actions often stem from a very active imagination. Many naively believe they are immune to deception, manipulation, or seduction by dictators like Hitler, or that they would always make the right decisions. Yet they too are subject to imagination, which can overshadow reason. We are often unaware of our own biases. Any idea accompanied by strong emotions, such as anger, hatred, love, or political and religious beliefs, cannot be changed by logic. However, through hypnosis, it is possible to create new images in the unconscious mind, as well as erase or change old ideas. Rule 4. Once an idea is accepted subconsciously, it remains there until replaced by another idea. Or, the longer an idea exists, the harder it will be to change it. The moment the subconscious accepts an idea, it becomes the usual way of thinking. This is how both bad and good behavioral patterns are formed. First the idea, then the action. We have a habit of thinking in a certain way, just as we have a habit of behaving in a certain way, but the idea or thought always comes first. If we want to change our behavior, we must first change our ideas. Some statements we accept as true almost without thinking. For example, we are sure the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. We accept this even on cloudy days when we cannot see it. This is an example of correct conceptualization that governs our behavior under normal conditions. However, many common statements we carry inside ourselves are neither true nor have they ever been corrected in our minds. For example, some believe that in critical situations, drinking brandy or taking a sedative pill helps them make the right decision. This is not true, but the idea exists. Such deeply rooted ideas resist change because a correct replacement idea does not yet exist or has not been accepted. These are settled, permanent ideas, not fleeting thoughts or fantasies. To change ourselves, we must change these ideas, no matter how long they have existed or how strongly we believe in them. Change can be achieved through hypnosis or autosuggestion in a trance state. Rule 5. Each subsequent suggestion creates less resistance than the previous one. Once a habit is formed, it becomes easier to follow and harder to change. In other words, after the subconscious accepts one suggestion, other additional suggestions are accepted more easily and quickly. Rule 6. A symptom caused by emotion leads to organic changes if it lasts long enough. According to doctors, more than 80% of human ailments are functional in nature, not caused by actual organic changes. Psychosomatic, despite excluded somatic disorders. This means that the functioning of an organ or other bodily function can be influenced by the nervous system's reaction to negative ideas adopted in the subconscious. This does not mean that every person with a disease is mentally unstable or neurotic. Of course, there are illnesses caused by microbes, parasites, viruses, and other external factors, but a person has a mind that is inseparably connected to the body. The body and mind are not separate. If someone constantly fears for their health, constantly talks about a problematic stomach or headaches, over time, real organic changes may develop. Rule 7. When working with the subconscious and its functions, the rule is, the stronger the conscious effort, the weaker the subconscious reaction. This rule shows that so-called willpower is not as powerful as often thought. If you have ever suffered from insomnia, you know what it looks like. The more you try to force yourself to fall asleep, the more sleep evades you. The rule is as follows. When working with the subconscious, do not force. Instead, develop a positive expectation that your problems will be resolved. When your trust in your own subconscious grows, you will learn to allow it to do its job rather than roughly trying to control or force it.